Coach, I know it's a challenging weekend. How would you kind of sum up the performance of the team this weekend?
Not enough. They just did more than we did. The 2-out hit, 2-strike at bats, plays in the field. Very competitive weekend. We just don't, you got to win the game. And you got to do something at a special time in the game to win the game. And they kept doing it, and we didn't. And they get the 3 wins.
Brandon?
Yeah, just when you think of a weekend where you guys play 3 close games and just come on losing at home.
At home, yeah. It sucks. You're supposed to win at home and win the close games at home. And we just don't do enough. We don't get the big hit or the runner in, and you tip your hat to them. They did. They got 2-out hits. They made some great plays in the last inning of all 3 games to seal it out, and you tip your hat to those guys.
Doug?
Coach, the play involving Dylan, the overthrow, and then out at first, out at home. How did you see that, and what was the thinking on that?
Well, I walked out there because I was going to just take the balk. But the balk, once you go past one base, there was a balk at first base. But once the guy goes past it, the ball bounces right to their guy, and he bounces it straight to home plate. I mean, if it was off 1 yard either way, it's safe. But unfortunately, they make the play.
Steve?
It seems like you guys have created opportunities for yourself late, but you can't seem to get that big hit late. I know if it was an easy answer, you'd already corrected it, but what are you seeing in that? Because it's not just one guy.
No, it's not one guy. It's just, I don't know. I mean, relaxing in that moment. And it's not about getting a hit. It's like I told our guys, it's about having a good at-bat. Sometimes you hit a ball right at somebody, and it is what it is, but we're having a bad at-bat in that moment, which is, we had it in the first inning of today's game, the earlier game. We got bases loaded, the guy's melting down, and we throw a bad at-bat in there, and, you just got to be better now. You can blow the game open right there if you have a good at bat, and we're not getting it right now.
Doug?
Coach, going back to the 7th inning, the first game, they get a hit on 0-2, they get a homer on 0-2. Is it surprising that they were that aggressive on 0-2?
No, I think I don't. The first 0-2 was a couple foul balls and stuff. The second one, just the ball in the middle of the plate. We just don't make a good enough pitch.
Got time for a couple more, Steve?
Not the Ben Davis we're used to seeing today. Kind of what did you see with him, and was it a blister issue or just not throwing enough strikes? Or
Not enough strikes. I don't know if he was amped up for SEC play, but it wasn't the calm, cool Ben Davis we've had the last couple of weeks, because he's got really good stuff. And with that sinker, it matched up really good against their guys today, and we just don't throw enough strikes. And he always throws strikes.
Steve?
second part of that is Carson. It looked like Carson kind of had a return to form and threw some big pitches for you today, throwing 3 pitches for strikes. How would you assess his performance?
I thought Carson was really good. I thought he pitched well, and we just being that it's a 7-inning game. We feel like he's in the 5th or 6th. We had enough bullpen pieces that we could stay with him. But I thought he was good. He had some really good innings there early on.
Yeah.
Going back to game 2, talk a little bit about Evan. What'd you think of him today? And then what was the commotion with the hand, if you don't mind clearing that up?
He just had he had a cut open up like on top of his hand, so it wasn't on the inside of his hand. So they had to get it to quit bleeding is all, because you're not allowed to have blood on the ball. And I thought he was really good today.
Steve, last one.
Dylan has kind of emerged as a bit of a weapon for you in a 9-hole. I think he still leads the team in walks and kind of grinding out some at-bats. What are you seeing from him where he has kind of improved upon that aspect?
Well, he's a really big on-base machine. I mean, he sees the baseball well up there at the plate. And I thought there was a big hit there in the last inning of that game, just to keep it going. He's done a really nice job.
Thanks.
Bryce, you're one of the leaders of this team, and you had a real challenging weekend. How do you get these guys to kind of pull up and get ready for the grind that's ahead?
You just got to trust that we are a good group. I know we're a good group. I think everybody in the locker room knows we're a good group. So we got to find a way to play better, though. We've played good, but not good enough. So we got to find ways to get wins.
Doug.
Russ, did y'all see anything out of Texas that you weren't expecting?
They pitched it a little bit different, but nothing that we couldn't have handled. We need to do a better job executing the plan that we had, we had a good plan and we didn't execute it very well. So
Steve?
Along those lines too, it feels like the big hit late has kind of remained elusive for you guys. I know Ace had the big one, Friday, but it's like you need that first big walk-off to kind of break the seal on that. How does it feel when those situations arise late in ball games?
well, right now it feels tense, and we just got to have a little more trust in each other and find a way to pass the bat. It doesn't always have to be you. It could be the next guy. So we just have to find ways to take pride in the person behind you in the order, so we can just keep the line moving. And it's going to happen. I firmly believe that. Maybe we have to see it happen once for it to happen, but I know it's going to happen.
Danny?
Coach talked about being calm in that moment. How, as a player, do you do that? Is it mostly experience, or is it kind of a mindset thing?
It's definitely a mindset thing. Taking a deep breath and focusing on the task at hand is the biggest part. It's easy to overthink it, so finding a way to zone in on what you're looking for in that spot is the easiest way to do that.
Doug?
The last thing you wanted to do, I'm sure, was go 0-3 at home, and now you've got 2 road series coming up. What's y'all's attitude now? What are you saying to each other?
You got to find ways to win. Like I said, we're playing good, but not good enough. Not good enough late. That's the main thing. We have to find ways to either expand in those situations, or we have to find ways to shut them down. On Friday, we didn't do a good enough job expanding, and it came back to bite us. Today, I think we get it tied in the first game, and then can't ever take the lead. And so it hurts you whenever you're not able to expand or find ways to get back in ball games.
Got time for a couple more, Steve?
Along those lines too, I mean, some of the returning guys have really kind of taken a bit of a jump, but you've got a good mix of transfers in here too. I mean, how is it kind of learning each other now that you're in the SEC play and got, really 20 games under your belt?
Well, I mean, we know what we're about, what everybody's about, and the transfers have done a good job buying into what we are and what we do here. And then the returners, we just got to keep pushing and trying to fight and get the extra hit, the one that we've been missing. So.
Brendan?
Yeah, you said a couple times you guys are playing well, but not good enough. What gives you guys believe that you're playing well?
Just knowing that 1 through 9, we're one of the more complete lineups in the country. Our bullpen is probably one of the better ones in the country. Our starting pitching has great stuff all the way throughout. So all the pieces are there. We just have to find ways to make an extra play, get an extra hit, something along those lines to either expand or hold people where they are late in games.